Elio guys, and welcome back to another episode of Infinite Magicraid. If you haven't checked out my previous character reviews, then I implore you to do so. But anyways, in today's video we have Sha. At least that's how Google decided to pronounce her name, so I'm just going to call her Sha. And we can see that she is a attacker type, and she's also the light mark, so she doesn't have any problems dealing with any of the RGB or the other marks because, well, there's no dark type in the game, at least for now. And she's also legendary, and I just recently pulled her, and this is my baby girl right now. She's only level 110. I hope to get that higher. I've already dumped skill books into her, but let's go and talk about them skills in general here. So if you pulled Sha, or if you're curious about her, we're going to figure out if she is worth it or not. So in her basic attack, which is just called Unity, this move right here deals 200% of her attack damage to a single enemy and reduces the cooldown of her concentration increase and broken snow by 1 round. So every time that this move is done, this is implying that you've done your other moves already. So kind of starting off here with her ultimate or a different move is kind of the way to go because you get the most damage out of her. It already deals a decent amount of damage. When it's fully booked up though, it does go up to 280%, which is pretty standard for a legendary. But the main selling point is really going to be the cooldown into the other moves here. Moving on to the next move, which is concentration increase. So remember how her basic attack kind of lowers the cooldown on these skills? Well, with concentration increase, we can see right here that it increases her self crit rate by 40%, and it also boosts up her crit damage by 60% for 1 round. And this effect cannot be removed. That is huge. So if you're sitting at 60% crit rate on her and you add in that additional 40%, obviously enemies may be able to resist crit or not, but let's say that they have 0% resistance against critting. Congratulations, you're now getting some crit off, and you're also getting a boost in crit damage. I've seen this move, especially in a PvP situation, just do nasty amounts of damage. It is just sickening what this move can do. And with it fully booked up though, its skill cooldown is reduced by 1 turn, meaning it's now only 3 turns, paired up with her basic attack Unity. And I mean, the biggest kicker though is going to be that additional crit damage, which is an extra 50%. So now her crit damage bonus is 110%. This isn't saying that you have any other units that could possibly build up her crit damage, or if you have her on a set more focus of crit damage. Absolutely huge. Yes, you kind of have to waste a turn to do this move, quote unquote waste, but if you can get this move off and like take that over here to her ultimate, oh man. And then her passive skill right here, which is Shadow of Master. Each time Sha takes action, she has a 60% chance to deal 160% extra attack damage to the target with the lowest HP. When this is fully bugged up, which sadly none of my books have went into, this essentially guarantees that she's always going to be dealing extra damage to the target with the lowest HP. Yes, it's only 160, which is obviously a lot lower than her 280% on her basic attack, but even if you compare to some epics, even though this is only a 1-stage move, that's literally free damage every time she acts or every time that she's on the field. I mean, wow. And if you're fighting the target with the lowest HP and there's nothing else on the field, then I do believe in theory, I don't know, I've been using my Sha on auto, but she can hit them once and then hit them again with a little bit extra damage. I mean, that right there is great, because what if she crits with that move? Congratulations, that's still more free damage. If you guys can't tell already, I'm a big fan of Sha. I'm just happy that I pulled her, to be honest. And then for her ultimate, which is Broken Snow here, this deals 600% of her attack damage to a single enemy at its level 1 base level, of course, and it has a 5-turn cooldown, but fully booked up, this move goes up to a whopping 720% attack damage to a single enemy, and it gets reduced to 4 turns. Keep in mind, once again, her basic attack, which is Unity, helps lower this cooldown so she can get to it quicker once again. If you go ahead and slide in her second move, which is concentration increase, we also get that added additional crit damage to go on top of this move. Essentially what I'm saying is huge numbers, absolutely huge numbers. And I mean, there's nothing really here that's secondary on her skills in terms of like poison or HP burning or stuff of that nature. But if a unit doesn't have these secondary skills, but they have skills like this, which just benefits them of getting raw damage out, that could be very, very useful, especially in a PvP situation, and obviously in PvE too, depending on what you're fighting. Let's go over here to her exclusive weapon though and figure out what goes on here. So when she kills an enemy at level 1, her Broken Snow skill is reset. You guys do know that Broken Snow is her ultimate. It's just reset because she killed someone. Yikers. Level 2 concentration increase now grants Sha a 30% piercing rate now. So not only does she have the additional crit rate being added to her, but the additional crit damage. Now her attack in general is just going to do more damage. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about this. And then at level 3, when concentration increase is used, she also receives 30% of her action power, attack power. Basically, her attack gauge goes up by 30% to kind of help her get the upper hand of possibly getting in another turn sooner. And of course, at level 4 and 5, she does get a speed increase, and of course, with any exclusive weapon, her rates go up. But honestly speaking, Sha at level 1 or level 2 is more than enough. Absolutely more than enough, because right now what my baby girl speed is 1,312. I do have her, well, at least mine, for this point in time. She's on a fearless slash the wild set. So while I'm not really big on the whole leech part in the mastery, I mean, leech is okay, mastery doesn't affect her at all. This is what I have to throw on her. But not only does she have that additional crit rate being added to her, but she does have some self-sustainability. Plus with the wild set where it increases her base attack and crit, that's going to be super great because her attacks already kind of focus more towards her critting and doing damage. And in the future, if I could obviously make this set like a complete wild set, I think that would be amazing too, because she would get 16 in terms of her attack, 16% boost. And obviously with her only being Awakened 1, I only have this guy up here, which is just crit rate. But I do believe if I get her booked up, I may experiment and just like give her one crit rate type of artifact, and then in the future either switch that to crit damage or even switch a set to crit damage if it has. It doesn't even need to be a super duper amazing crit rate on her to get the full effect of Sha just in general, but she's just a lovely PvP unit. Especially the biggest issue comes with her is going to be that concentration attack, and these are my emblems that I currently have on her, which is just a crit enhancement to help boost her crit rate up, which is basically what you should do for all your attackers. There's also the shield slam, so affecting any of your freaking units that use like Whim or what Valentine also has a shield, and other units like that. There's also Berserk Blood, where she takes more damage but she deals more damage, and I went the defensive route and I gave her some more HP. And she also has the Armor of Thorns, where she can reflect some of that damage that she's taking back to the target, even if it's only a little bit, because a little bit can go a long way. But this is where she's at this point in time. It's going to be a bit until I can get her up to like A3 or even A5, because I literally have no characters that are at A5. But I'm just super stoked to have her, you guys. She's awesome. I think she's a really great PvP unit. Once again, I am using her in PvE too, just because of her raw damage, but she's one of the legendaries that if you do pull her, it's definitely a big smiley face. I'm not going to say that she's super OP, but I would say, especially with her being fully booked up and at least A3 if not higher, in terms of single target damage. Obviously there's no AoE in her whatsoever, but in terms of single target damage, at least at this point in time, she's pretty damn good. But that's pretty much it for the Sha review, you guys. If you have one, feel free to leave in the comments below what your current setup is with her, where do you use her at, and what are your recommendations for any other players out there that recently pulled her. I'll try and keep you guys up to date with her, but obviously it kind of takes time to build units. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.